We were spending, $750,000 on ad spend, and we cut it down to be the equivalent of like at this point right now, like what, 24,000? Like
something like that.
Something like something stupid.
That's a 97% cut, by the way.
Like stupid. Yeah. So we got a couple things. So something that is interesting to talk about is what we're really truly accomplishing with Canadian Protein as a brand, in a sense of early on, having to pay for marketing and literally cutting our marketing bill pretty much to zero and not even witnessing a drop in sales from it, which is fucking really wild.
Yeah.
And that's testament of having a very, strong brand presence and having strong brand equity in the market. Now,
so maybe explain a little bit more about like where our ad dollars were going before.
Yeah. So the majority of our ad dollars were going to paying for, search terms like Canadian Protein, Protein Canada, all that kind of stuff, where, maybe a decade, 5 years ago, even a couple years ago, that might have worked in our favor. But what we found is we've got a lot of SEO juice. We've been around a long time. We've got a lot of brand equity. Like I said, a lot of brand presence in the country now in Canada. And what was happening was how many spaces? Maybe 3 spots for search terms? Is that what it was?
I had maximum of 3 probably, yeah.
Something like that. So we were obviously ranking within that 3, depending on ad spend. And competitors choose our brand name to compete with us on our own brand name, right? To try to pull our customer base. And we were spending ad dollars to compete, right? But we were always ranking like very high, like for 10 spots even when you search for Canadian Protein. And you guys can like even go, try it out on Google if you want. But what was happening was people were just clicking on the ad versus clicking on the actual SEO first spot for the Canadian
spot.
Protein. Yeah, exactly, the organic spot. So we killed the ads to do a test, and what do you know?
We were expecting revenue to drop
A little,
like
at least something visibly
noticeable.
Yeah, something noticeable. So we didn't notice anything really. And SEO for us, so I don't know if you talked to Leslie or not, but because people are actually clicking on our SEO spots now, or organic listings, if you want to call it that, more than the advertising, it bumped all of our spots up even more.
Oh, wow.
Because now the organic presence is getting that much more attention. It actually helped raise the organic presence.
So counterintuitively at this point, it might, like, having our ad off might actually help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that we're going to start doing, which I have to talk to Dave about, is putting the
Dave's our marketing guy for context.
Yeah, putting the ad spend back, not as much, but back in. And then we're talking about how we were spending, $750,000 on ad spend or whatever, fucking plus or minus 50 grand or whatever a year, something like that, or 100 grand. So, and we cut it down to be the equivalent of like at this point right now, like what, 24,000? Like
something like that.
Something like something stupid.
Yeah.
Now that's not including the other amount of money that we spend on our organic and SEO reach.
Yeah.
Right. We do a lot of that a lot of other stuff like that to optimize the brand equity and the brand presence in the country.
That's a 97% cut, by the way.
Like stupid. Yeah. So and to be honest with you, a little bit late. And I remember I've had these discussions multiple times with other people that were, in the past running our marketing department, and they were like, no, we need to keep this. We need to do this. We need to keep it. And I was like, listen, let's test it. And they were so adamant about not doing it. So like moving forward, if I have a gut feeling on something, I'm going to just force it.
Yeah.
So just to see, not to do something that's going to, potentially hinder the brand. But if I think that something's right for the brand, I'm going to stop taking the you know, to
But
some extent,
I think this is also why it's important for us to continuously question everything.
Yeah.
Like everything, like don't just do something
Yeah.
because that's the way it's been done.
For sure. Yeah.
Be like, hey, let's actually question this.
Yeah.
Let's test it. Let's test some different scenarios.
Yeah,
and
because
see
now
what,
we can shift that ad spend into something else. And one of the where I'd like to shift it, at least a small percentage of it, is going after our competitors' names, which we've never really done.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that I think will be, I think something that we should do.
Because we're set up right now that we can sell direct to consumer internationally. Like, remember how for years you just weren't able to figure it out?
Yeah.
Not that you weren't able to figure it out, but
Just
there was
wasn't
just
worth it. Yeah.
it wasn't worth it, and Shopify was
that was a big,
limited.
That was a big thing. Yeah.
Now Shopify has it so easy to ship internationally that, but as of maybe about a month ago, I've set it up that every single product has its HS codes, country of origin, province of origin.
One of the things that I'd like to get into is I know Shopify was hell bent on setting up distribution hubs. I think that's something that we should entertain.
I think if we're able to see our international sales jump like quite a bit,
but the shipping's like really expensive. That's kind of the issue.
But if customers are paying for it for right now,
are they though? Like I can't imagine that.
Well, we can set it up that they are. Like if someone's trying to buy something in, let's say, Great Britain or whatever, right? We can set it up where they just don't qualify for free shipping.
Yeah, well, that would be the move for sure because shipping is going to be astronomical. What I'm saying is you know how like one of our next moves after Costco is international, like emerging markets.
Yeah.
And we were talking about getting in with a distribution hub. Like one of the things that I think we should do instead of trying to maybe even get in with a distribution hub or not a distributor is to potentially send our products there or even with Amazon. Like, you know, get into Amazon India, get into Amazon China, like that kind of stuff. That's potentially what we should do and just send our product there. Yeah. Right? That should be maybe and do that instead of trying to use that as a gauge for the demand of our product, right? So that's something that I think that we should potentially entertain moving forward. But anyways, huge difference. And I think one of the new marketing one of the new marketing budgets that we should focus on is going after our competitors because you have to think the majority of people coming through our funnel based off of those brand names. I do think we have, maybe some people were pulling in like Protein Canada, just doing a generic search coming across us. But I think at this point, they're more than likely looking for us. Yeah. I think we're a strong enough brand in the country where it's no longer a generic term like a Canadian Tire. I think we've built, and that was always the key. That was always the goal, is to create a strong enough brand in the country where, when you think Canadian Tire, you're not searching Canadian tires. You're searching for the store and retail store and the brand Canadian Tire, right? So I do think we are there now. I think it's time to potentially pull people away from other brands and showcase what we have to offer. I think that's the new thing that we should be entertaining in our marketing budget, especially now that we've like fucking blasted through expectations of what we actually need. Yeah.
So let's assume, just for sake of argument, that we're going to be spending $1 million next year on marketing. How would you, from just even like a high level, how would you want to see that broken down in terms of percentages being allocated to different types of marketing?
I think we really got to get on the affiliate marketing, the ambassador marketing. So I think that we could pull a lot of that budget away from ad spend and shift it into that. I think that we should focus more on us doing it, producing content.
Well, that doesn't cost any extra.
Exactly. But I still think that we should do it. I mean, it might a little bit, right? Like, who knows? Maybe even what we do is we hire another content creator like Connor doing videos here, right? Like just taking our videos all day and just ripping those videos, and doing, getting you in front of the camera, even in here. Yeah. And producing talking
about the product, talking about benefits of it, sales that are going on.
Exactly. Get a product here, talk in front of the mic. This is the advantages of whey isolate, whatever, whatever, right? Or me doing it, it doesn't matter who does it. I don't really care. So doing that kind of stuff, now we have access to that. And that's marketing that can live forever. Right. Which is, and if you go to our YouTube page, you know, we've got some videos here, man, that if you check Canadian Protein's YouTube page, let me take a look real quick. You know, we've got, you know, 4.6, you know, thousand followers, but like, you know, just trust the process here with our old one of our old athletes, you know, 10,000 views. You know, even when we were doing all of these other, you know, things with you, like they're still pulling views. But like if you look at 10 main benefits of 100% whey protein isolate, 316,000 views. Wow. Yeah, dude, like look. You know, like 6.9 thousand, 8 main. This is nobody talking in this. This is nobody talking. This is just the benefits popping up on the screen, right? 5.5 thousand views, 9 main benefits of grass-fed New Zealand whey. Like, and then you got, you know, the explanational videos with Sean. Then you've got, you know, how to bench press, proper incline bench press, like 4.9. You know, how to do hack squats, you know, with Sean, 37,000. How to do standing calf raises, 17,000. Like, we need to, I feel like we need to start getting in it, because this is something that once it's done and edited, it lives forever. And think about how many views that one video of 9 main benefits, I bet you that video has brought in tens of thousands of dollars for us. Doesn't that make sense to put a little bit more effort into that?
It does.
Right? Wouldn't you agree? I think so. And not necessarily try to come off as experts, but explaining the actual products. Yeah. You know, so I think pumping a little bit more, you know, investing a little bit more time and effort, I think, into something along those lines. And, you know, maybe it's me or you. Maybe it's both. Yeah. Maybe it's both of us, right? Yeah. I think going after our competitors, which is not something that we've normally, you know, gone after or entertained.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, because we've never done it. The number one competitor. Like if we rank there, that's like the amount of traffic that they're getting for Canadian like consumers that are looking for the like similar quality product.
Beat that shit out, Connor. I don't want to give them anything.
No, yeah.
But you know, so and anybody that is a direct, if say for example, if you run Canadian Protein and you find a competitor, anybody that's ranking for us and or paying for ads with our brand name, I can't wait till we get that fucking trademark, because you submit that trademark to Google, and then it kind of stomps out being able to advertise under that name. Yeah, you know.
So then would we be able to do it for the competitors then if they have the trademark?
That's what I mean. Like, I think it still happens. It's not like people aren't. If you were to search for iPhone or Apple, like, or MacBook or whatever, it's not like Acer's not coming up or doing something there, right? It's still gonna. How aggressive do you want to go with like litigation or you know, pursuing other brands for doing it? It's not gonna. It's never not gonna happen, right? That's my point. But at least it's at least some sort of ammunition, right? So, like, I'll give you an example. I own hustleharder.com, right? But there's somebody in the States that owns a trademark for Hustle Harder. I can't do anything with it, right? So I'm still keeping the domain. Yeah. I'm not going to fucking just give it away, right? There's nothing saying that I can't have the domain. There's something saying that I can't advertise a product, you know, called Hustle Harder, right, and sell it because they own the trademark, right? So I did remember the Hustle Harder t-shirts and all that kind of shit. So we'll just have to do it in a different way. But yeah, very interesting. Very
unbranded.
What's that?
Unbranded.
Yeah, like they'll still stomp out you have to be careful like how you name it, right? Because it's very easy for them to run a search, find the name, and then they're just like, oh, we're killing the product. I've already gone through it. Yeah. So anyways, these guys are so shit. They're so shit. They just happen to own the trademark. They're so shit at their marketing. They're so shit at their product offerings. It's just the fucking worst shit ever.
How do you feel about calling this video something on the lines of like restructuring our $1 million marketing budget for Canadian Protein or something? Yeah. My one, like maybe. I think Tommy and Connor are doing a very good job of coming up with titles now. I think Tommy runs titles in ChatGPT. Nice. And comes up with like, this might even be something that might be interesting for people, even how we utilize ChatGPT in another video. But Tommy and Connor are, I think it's Tommy doing it at this point, where he's running
Connor's coming up with like a title, not spending too much time because I want Connor focused on what he's great at, which is editing videos. And Tommy's doing the thumbnails, which he's great at because he's a graphics artist. And Tommy's also really good at, running, like clickbait type shit, right? Like so he's great at coming up with clickbaity titles or compelling titles. And so whatever title comes up, like something about $1 million, something with respect to $1 million of advertising budget, right? How we run our $1 million advertising budget or something like that. Changes to our $1 million advertising budget for Canadian Protein or whatever the case is.